We are almost 2 weeks into this conflict. It is still not a war. Let's start with Somaliland. This is important because now we're going to have to try to find other routes around the Strait of Hormuz. So the map and the Yemenis are still a problem. The Houthis are still a problem, as we all know. And the only other way through is either around the Horn of Africa or through the Red Sea. So Somaliland is on the other side of Yemen, or across from Yemen on the water, in the Gulf of Aden. In a significant escalation of ties following Israel's landmark recognition of Somaliland last December, the self-declared Republic of Somaliland has formally invited Israel to establish a strategic presence at its port and airport. The invitation, posted today on Twitter, I refuse to call it X, by Somaliland's official government account, emphasizes the country's critical geopolitical value as a gateway to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Red Sea. The tweet by the representatives of Somaliland said, "Israel, you are invited to establish your presence at the Republic of Somaliland's Berbera, gateway to the Bab el-Mandeb and the Red Sea. It highlights Berbera Airport's status as home to Africa's longest runway and the port as one of the world's most strategic deepwater facilities." It said that the strategic corridor handles 15% of global trade, 30% of global container traffic, and 10% of seaborne petroleum, calling for, quote, security ties and mutual prosperity. This offer comes directly after Israel's December 2025 decision to become the first UN member state to formally recognize Somaliland as an independent and sovereign nation, a move sealed in a joint declaration by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Foreign Minister Gideon Saar, and Somaliland's president. Bloomberg and other outlets reported this week that Israel is actively exploring the construction of a military base, possibly covert, in Somaliland to gather intelligence and conduct operations against Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels. Two Somaliland officials confirmed the government would permit such activities. It was reported that discussions have gained urgency amid Israel's broader conflict with Iran. Israeli security officials surveyed Somaliland's coastline in June of last year, which was about probably the same time that the last flare-up with Iran happened, focusing on sites including an elevated area roughly 100 kilometers west of Berbera, a location that offers proximity to Yemen, just 260 kilometers across the Gulf of Aden. Berbera's existing UAE-operated port and military airstrip, along with its 5-kilometer runway capable of handling a heavy aircraft, make it an ideal forward operating location. Somaliland's Minister of the Presidency said that the partnership is advancing rapidly, potentially including Israeli training and defense systems for Somaliland in exchange. The strategic goals for Israel include setting up a base closer to Houthi strongholds, monitoring Red Sea shipping lanes, and responding more swiftly to attacks that have disrupted 15% of global trade. Somalia has denounced the entire process as an unlawful step, undermining its territorial integrity, while Turkey, Egypt, and the Arab League have voiced strong criticism. Pro-Israel voices, however, hail the move as a pragmatic alliance between two stable democratic partners in a volatile region. Somaliland officials are actively supporting the deal, saying that the partnership is essential for security and economic development of the nation. A planned presidential visit and formal trade agreement between the two sides are expected later this month, according to earlier reports. The invitation marks a dramatic shift in Middle East, Horn of Africa relations, turning Somaliland's long-isolated Berbera into a potential base for Israeli operations against one of Tehran's most active proxies, meaning the Houthis. So that's that story.